Yeah. Is this? He is down. He's
Wow.
down there. Where is Keisha?
Wow.
Wonderful. So we good. We're supposed to be good here. Master Clive, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, it's quite an honor to get enough feedback.
Pleasure is mine.
Right. We're trying to make sure we get the audio properly done because it's back and forth with the
Okay.
audio. Yeah. Are you hearing me though? Are you hearing me
I'm
clear?
hearing you. I'm hearing you pretty fine.
Right. I'm hearing you with the feedback, but that's fine.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Okay. Testing, testing.
Yeah, just I am hearing you, but I'm hearing you with a reverb. It's coming
Oh,
across with a reverb. So let me just okay, hold on. Listen this. It's coming across with a reverb. Right. I'm still gonna try to do it like that. Gentlemen, like I was saying in my preamble, it is quite an honor to be able to have the privilege to talk with you. At this stage of my career.
yeah, man. It's good. It's good for me, madam. Also.
Now, I do not want to. I could go to YouTube. I can jump on there and pull a whole thing, recap about you, the man. But I don't want that today because I could do that, and anybody else could do that. I want to feel from you, sir, as to your journey. It's 72 years in the musical industry. I want a sense from you. I want you to pour out your heart, your journey into this musical world because you've seen a lot. You've been through a lot. You've transitioned through a lot. You've seen a lot.
Yes, for sure. Um, how do I start? Well, I've been a musician all my life, basically. From I was 12 years old, I've been doing music every day until today. I give thanks. And I've been in the recording part of the industry uh, for maybe just over 50 years, 52 years around then, for about 1970, 71. And it's been a pleasure. I mean, it's been crazy, I tell you. As I say, I've seen a lot, I've heard a lot, I've done a lot. And I've had the pleasure of working with some people which are my idols, and they make me feel very comfortable. um, that's it basically. And I must tell you that I have been doing, even today, I'm working on a track right now for one of the hottest artists, young artists in Jamaica or in music. And I've just started to work on his new album. I'm very happy about that because the older I get, it seems like I always have one thing about me and music. I tell the younger people, it doesn't matter how old you are or how long you've been doing this. It's basically if you know music and you can maintain. Well, I don't know about me. I just maintain a groove with the young people. So the genre is it doesn't matter. But I'm gifted. I'm gifted. People think because I've been doing it and with so many people. But actually, before I went into a recording studio, I studied music very hard. From the day I was I discovered a music class, and my music teacher discovered me. He never let me up, and it was like 5 years straight. And then boom, I went to college in England, and I came back, and it's been like that until today. I just came off the phone with Shane Brown, who manages Tyrus Riley, Dean Fraser, and we're working on a project right now with Popcorn. So I feel very blessed to be able to do this after this time, all of this time.
Do you believe it's gift? It's a gifting. I think it's okay. So Clive, is Tamara close to you?
No, 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 she isn't.
Okay, I think what you need is headphone because I think what we're getting is we're getting a bounce back from your audio.
Oh,
Yes. So if you had headset, it would have
no,
made a difference.
I wasn't prepared. Sorry, I wasn't prepared like that. And unfortunately, for the past 2 years, my eyes have been going.
Oh,
Totally. So I can only see like light and darkness right now. I'm
Oh,
so sorry. I have an assistant who is helping me, but this is not her job. I thought it would be a simple matter of
right, right.
just sitting the phone and sit in front of the phone. I'm sorry about that. So is it bad?
We're gonna try with it, but the the audio is coming right back at me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's bouncing back out to the right. So, but you know what? I'm gonna just try to pull yours down and then pull it up when you're talking. Um, let's talk about you know, someone said gifted, and I believe that's the word. I believe that's the term. I believe that's what how you explain it, because let's face it, being able to have been the foundation member when this genre of music, this vibe, this energy, this ancestral thing started, you know, and
yeah.
being able now to transition, not only transition, but transition relevantly, because you are so relevant still. Like you said, you're now working on a on an album, and you work with persons like Jimmy Cure, and that's today's artist. But you're a man from the foundation of back in the Jimmy Cliffs and the Browns, and these where you really started and made absolutely timeless hits that continues today to resonate with the musical world. So this is timeless music that you were gifted in making back then. And here you are today, years after, still being able to influence the today's music. Yeah, so it's got to be gifted.
Well, I struggle personally. I struggle with saying that I am gifted, or I don't know about maybe others, but because I guess I have referred to maybe one or a few people over the years as gifted. But I hate to say gifted, me myself being gifted, because I would not. I'm very much into encouraging and teaching younger people. There are a lot of famous young people, which you will probably hear about in the business, who are young and they're famous. For example, I was at a Grammy Award ceremony 2 nights ago, and they were giving people who had not received their Grammys or their Grammy nomination certificate. And I was invited there because they had two for me. And I was there, and I was very enlightened and happy to see so many people receiving awards, which a lot of people don't know about. And at the end, the last person they called up was Dean Fraser. And Dean had received 9 awards and Grammys, and he had he never got them in his hand. There was no ceremony, and this happened on this night. And when Dean went up to give his make a comment, a statement, a thank you thing. He went and he just say, thank you all very much. He was a bit like overwhelmed. It's a whole lot, you know. 'Cause there was this line of people across the stage who had awards for him and Grammys in their hands. And he said, I want to thank you all a lot. But at first I wanna say thank you to people like Clive, who was one of the first person to take me into a studio and guided me. And here I am. And I felt very good about that. No, I was touched. But one other thing about me, I mean, to me, Dean is gifted. Dean plays an horn like a gifted person. He learned to play the horn, but he didn't learn music really formally, like how I did. So because I learned music formally when I was, as I say, from I was 12 years old until I was 19, I read every book that was written about music. I learned to read, to write, to arrange. I learned about every instrument I've ever seen or touched or heard about. So because of of that experience, and then I told you I went to a very prestigious college in the UK. I got a scholarship through the Governor General. I came back on top of the graduation class. I just feel like I'm learned. I learned. Whatever I do, I should do it. The thing about transitioning to the the new genres and whatever the new vibes out there is, I kind of have myself. not to compare.
And stuck really there.
He did say the same thing. Oh God. Hold on a second, please. Oh my gosh.
So Clive,
So, so,
listen to me. We working with you now. Me, I giving
oh
you, I giving up
God.
on you now with that at all. We working with you, so Clive. You take them technique. Listen, you is the man at the moment. We are letting that trouble us at all. Somebody trying to call so Clive whilst he's on the interview and he's on his phone. But yeah, this gentleman has collected lots of accolade. I mean, the Jimmy Cliffs. I can see clearly now. It was a producer of that. A lot of Beres Hammond's music is produced by this gentleman right here. A lot of his music has been featured in top international films. This gentleman has been definitely making timeless music for quite some time now, man. And why is he so? Yes, and that's why he's so impressive because yeah, he plays a lot of the instrument, and that is why he's so impressive. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
being musician,
Right.
multiple
Yeah. And not just that.
proficient
Being-
as well.
Exactly.
He
You don't
is
get that.
proficient as well.
You don't get that. And what you do find is that a lot of the new age artists are now starting out. Are you there? So Clive, you there? A lot of the new age artists are now sorting after his expertise to be able to add to their fabric, to the authenticity of where he's at. So Clive, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm
Oh,
so
we lost
sorry.
your audio. No, we did. All right, got you. Yes.
Yeah, so I was telling you, I hate to refer to about myself as gifted only. I try to say I learned the things I do. So I try to say that young people don't go anywhere. I mean, so young people can learn music as much as they can, not just being gifted. Because sometimes you don't have to have a super talent to perform superbly, and that is my thing. So, do you understand what I'm
I
saying?
respect that, Sir Clive. I do believe that, listen, things like music and being able to get, the way you handle that, I think there's got to be some level of gifting. Because I can learn. I could go to any college and learn as much as I want and still not be as brilliant, yeah? You agree,
Yeah,
don't?
I do. But you said something earlier. I think I do have some of my ancestral things in me, and that is the rhythm. And then the music now come from somewhere else. But I guess if you combine all of them, it's a gift. But I would say blessed. I'm really blessed.
Well, we can settle on the bless. Definitely, we can settle on the bless. We
Yes.
definitely could settle on the bless.
Nice.
Now, so Clive, we time is running against us here, and I wish we will be able to do this again sometime because I would like this to be done properly. This is not being done because the audio is a bit messed up. So maybe in the future, if you would allow me that privilege again, sometime in the future to be able to really conduct a different interview where we can really dig deep into this and have better audio and all of that, I would very much appreciate it. So I'm putting it out there. But you're
Thank
here
you.
now. So let's talk about, being able to work with the people that you work with now. You work with the Etanas, you've worked with the Chronics, you've worked with the Jackyards, you've worked with Popcorn a lot. You've worked with Popcorn and you're now about to work with Popcorn again on his latest album. So tell me about, what is it like being able, because we get a lot, I tell you what we get a lot of. We get a lot of this industry has been faced lately with a lot of conversation that leans towards where we were and where we are now, and the fact that what we used to make good music, we ain't making no good music no more, and we seem to find ourselves in a battle where we pulling here and pulling there. When I do believe we still have persons like yourself who are very much still involved, so we've got something here working with still, and I think we have to be mindful of the narrative that we keep putting out there when we have things like that still happening. So I think it's very important for us to highlight that the music has been transitioning, yes, but it has not been all lost. There are still, you know, powerful, vital, things of substance going into some of our music, and some of our young people are understanding and sticking that to place in their music as well. And we need to put some effort into that. So tell me about you and how you feel about that entire conversation, and what it is that you would say to persons, who is a part of the battlefield. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's tag a war. What would you say to that conversation?
Well, okay. First of all, I'm being born in Jamaica and and the Caribbean, and our unique rhythms and our uniqueness. And I think I was training to be a conductor in an orchestra. Okay, that was my thing. The man who taught me was having me heading into that direction. Okay, um, I was called to work on a reggae session in a reggae in the studio with, and it was when Lorna Bennett had her number one song in England called "Breakfast in Bed." Breakfast in bed. Okay, this was a long time ago. And was just called to work on one song for this singer in the studio. I was working with the best people in reggae music in one of the top studios on the planet, RJ. I didn't know who these people were. I just turned up. And my thing is because I learned the way I learned, I could play anything anytime. Okay? Even if it was written, you sing it for me and I'd write it on paper and play it back. But and it was my first recording session, it was a reggae session. And after a while, soon after when I immediately they wanted me every day. So very soon after that, I decided, say, this is what I'm gonna do. Because my daddy was a Rasta man. So you know what that upbringing is like. He's very anti the system. So I just decided, say, I'm gonna make reggae my thing. And after coming through the years, I discovered that reggae is a gift from God. That's what I think. And for people like us, and me and all of us who is doing reggae, I think it's a reggae gift. And that kept me working. I've worked with great rock and roll players, musicians, artists, great R&B, calypsonians, and so on and so on. But I think that my gift and the gift for us was reggae. And there's been a struggle to keep reggae in the fore in Jamaica. I mean, the rest of the world took take reggae and parts of it and are very successful right until this minute. Okay, so I try to tell the young people, even with the new, like the new dancehall, before they call this new dancehall, we were calling it dancehall too. What Bunny Whalers was saying was dancehall. You know what I'm saying? Let's dance on the dance floor, match up the dancehall, all these things. So I'm trying to tell the young people, me myself, is this is a gift. And even the new reggae music, I have one special gift I know is any song is a song. I could be a reggae song. And once it's done this way, oh Jesus Christ. And hello, Kimmy? Once it's done this way, once I show the younger folks how to do this, so it's still match in terms of the tempo, which they can dance to it same way. I just think it's a gift for us, and I am glad for the opportunities can work with the Chronics when he comes along. I knew him before he was an artist. I was fortunate to know him, his father, his community, and even a popcorn now. And which a lot of young people all over the planet is listening to. And when I watch him working, and then when he wants to do a reggae and he asks for me, first of all, that's to me that's like wonderful. And then I try to do his thing and show that his music and his genre and his age group can still. I just make it a way. And maybe this is a gift to make it be reggae and still be popcorn or still be wherever they are. So it would take a long story for me to go into it all. But this is like it's something I try to do to highlight our music for the rest of the world and for us not to lose our music to the world. You know what I'm saying? And everybody here end up on the sidewalk again and doing something else because a lot of young people doesn't evolve to certain things that their parents want them to do. And I think the arts are a special gift for us. And this is my thing is just my focus is actually when I work with like a Jimmy Cliff or other days, I am always happy to get a call from these people and to do the best I can. But I try to show the younger people in the business that they can keep doing this and can do it for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that they have some sort of grounding, and some of them are actually taking up that opportunity, and getting work done, and still utilizing the fact that they have the privilege of being able to tap into energies like yours. Now, Sir Clive, you also a singer, and a lizard man. You're a lizard, up to lizard man. But we know you are dancing, but you is also a man that you do your own thing from time to time, going under the sobriquet lizard. As a matter of fact, a little buddy told me you do a recent something under the lizard brand sometime soon.
Actually, that whole name, listen, came by accident. You know, I think that's the worst part of me. I am not a singer, but I can tell you something. I can tell you hundreds of songs that I sang on. I sang on songs from Dennis Brown to Jimmy Cliff to Barry Salmon to tons of tons. I sing backing vocals. Or I use my voice as a sound. And then this lizard thing came about. I was very frustrated one morning when I was a very young man. Somebody woke me up to go to do something, and I just came in from a job with a band way in the country, and I was walking out of my house and up the street, and I just started to sing this song. The same song is Sata Eye. My eyes are dry. No, my eyes are dry.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I just keep walking and singing it, and I had the keys in my pocket for one of the top studios in Jamaica, because I tell you, from I was very young, a lot of people have confidence in me, in the music. So I just, instead of going where I should go, I just go to the studio, turn on everything, and start to record this song. And at the end of it, if you listen to the original song, you heard me laugh out in the end of the song. And because a friend of mine came in with another friend of his I didn't know, and he saw me singing, and he was like, "What?" So I just laughed out, finished the song, made a little copy of it, and the guy said to me, "What you gonna do with that?" So I said, "Nothing. I'm gonna erase it." And he said, "No, you can't erase that." Anyway, the guy asked me, told me he lives in New York. He did Spirit record. I gave it to him. He called me 2 weeks later and said, "Everybody loved the record, and what name should he use as an artist?" So I said, "Don't put my name, Don't put my name on it." And then so the telephone was, the guy called me on the phone, it wasn't clear. So he said to me, "What name should I use?" No, my brother, which my mother's second child, he sings in the festival, and I've never heard him sing. And I heard that he was placed in the parish, he was placed runner up to the winner. So I was trying to give him a bus. So I told the guy, say, my brother's name is Willard. So I said to him on the phone, "Hey," he said, "What name to put?" I said, Willard. And he said, "What? Lizard?" I said, "Yeah, Lizard." Wow. That was it. And the song was a massive hit. The song became a massive hit. Yes, it was #1 in WLIB in New York with Ken Williams, while Frankie Cracker was on WBLS for 18 weeks. Would you believe? And then the guy came back with this old bungalow of money. I said, "Guy, this is for you." I said, "What?" He said, "Your song." And he said, "Do some more." I said, "No." You know what I mean? Anyway, I was convinced to do, for Children Records, from way back, reggae, Children Records, which had Jimmy Cliff, all of these great people. They asked me to do an album, and I did an album. If I told you, you're not going to believe me. I did it in one day.
Ooh.
And,
No, I
and
believe you.
the album became a big hit. And it became, in fact, I'm fighting to get back my master. But we did it a few years ago, last year, and released it. And it did well. And there's a man in England who keeps bugging me. I have about a few new tracks. I was trying to do an album again. They keep bugging me to say everybody I'm producing, I should put it upside and concentrate and listen. But to me, my voice is the worst voice you could listen to.
Are you gonna keep the lizard name for all of the projects coming up that your voice is being utilized on?
I'm gonna every now and then I'm gonna have a few lizard things, but I really want it. Let me tell you, I spend my life in a very they're writing a book about me now, and the writer's writing all these nice things about me, and I'm saying no, and that is not just me. And they say, "No, we want people to see you like this." And He's been writing for over 2 years now, and then he met somebody I introduced him to who was been close to me, and he had one interview with the person. He just stopped. I said, uh, because you know, as I tell you, my upbringing and my tradition from I was a young man, I was like the way not to go. I got into, unfortunately, into things, hang out with people, start drinking, behaving like a rock and roller when I shouldn't have. And instead of concentrating on being a serious young man who had the opportunity to go anywhere, sometimes I behave a little way, which I wasn't proud of. And I got involved in things like drugs, just by telling everybody I would not do that. And I was working with the most famous people you know about. I would not believe. And they were doing drugs and I didn't know. And I just one day just walk into a place and I see everybody behaving weird. And I say, what's going on? And a man just tell me, say, everybody was hiding what they were doing from me. And a man tell me, say, this is what we're doing. They were doing. And I said, nothing can let me behave like you guys. And I said, let me try it. And I tried it and I got caught like a fish. You know, when a fish get hooked instantly.
Yeah.
And it
Wow.
took me 11 years. I lived but while I was under this influence, I live on the street, in gutters, under people's cellars, in my friend's dog house. Yeah, serious. I'm telling you. At the same time, I was working with some of the most famous people now. I made, say, let me tell you one example. A song named, the very song named Putting Up Resistance.
Yes.
I made that single-handedly. I played everything. I was the engineer and everything on it. Just me and Barris alone in the studio. And I was under total the influence. And Barris was just sitting like this.
Wow.
I said, come on, Clive. And I said, stop, just sing, man. Sing, sing, sing. I don't want to hear nothing. I wouldn't take no lecturing, no counsel from him. But Barris
Wow.
told me that song changed his life. He say, in all his career, that song flip his life over to a different level, you know? So anyway, I was fortunate enough. I couldn't die. I was a coward. Couldn't kill myself. So anyway, I just became. A friend of mine. I was teaching a man who was an executive for the light and power company, a young man, and he was teaching me I was teaching him to play bass. He hired me to teach him. I do a lot of things, in music. So and a friend of his came and his whole family, they feel bad for me. They were like, oh, every time they see me, and they give me a sandwich and I'll be teaching and talking about all of the stuff I've been through in my life. And they know about it. They hear about a lot of it. And a guy just came up and showed me the newspaper about a rehab. And I tell him he said, Clive, have you heard of this place? And I was so happy and surprised. I said, I want my mother to see that. But I know my mother would listen to me. So I just asked him to please go to my mom's house and show her that. And when she saw it, everybody went back home. And I went into a rehab and I spent 6 months there. And that was 1991, February. I stayed in that place for 6 months. I came out in September. But when I came out, during that whole process, Putting Up Resistance was number one everywhere where there's reggae. And I was in the rehab quietly. I never said anything to nobody. And then Barry did an interview on TV or something, and somebody asked him, how you come about doing that song? It's different. And Barry said, oh, I just sing it. I didn't do it. And they say, oh, who did it? They say, Clive. And they say, where is he? And the Barry say, him soon come, man. He might take care of himself. So when I came out, 2 days later, I wanted to go back home to my mother's house and the school for a while because I was scared of everything in there for a while, you know? I wanted to go back to the world very slowly. Anyway, Barry insists that I shouldn't go home. And he said, Clive, come to my house, man. So I went to Barry's house and lived for 2 weeks with him. And I must tell you, I came out of the rehab with a little bag with about 3-4 suit of clothes and a pair of slippers. And 2 weeks later, I drove my own car home.
Wow.
Yes, and Jimmy Cliff saw me and said, he drove me down and said, Clive, hey, did you make Putting Up Resistance? And I said, yes. He said, I'm going to the airport. I'm going to Italy back in 2 weeks. How can I contact you? I tell him. He came back and he asked me to work with him. He said he was doing an album and he wanted to do 18 songs. But because he had Sly Rob, he was going to produce 7. Andel Tucker, the great Andel Tucker, was going to produce 7.
Mhm.
Computer Paul was going to do two, and he wanted me to do two. But because he respected me so much, he wanted me to pick the first two songs. So I said, no, Jimmy. No, 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 no. I say, Sly Robbie can't produce anything. I mean, and they won't produce everything. Computer Paul, tell you what, let everybody pick their song. Any two songs that you want to do and they didn't pick, I will produce it. And his manager, a South African man, he just get up and say, hey, I like this guy, I like it. So I say, hey, Jimmy, we had breakfast at that meeting and I left. And then he came back to me. I ended up redoing everything everybody did.
Oh, that
Oh,
is
that is
brilliant.
brilliant.
Well, Sister
So,
Clive, we have, like I said, you see, you and I, we need a bigger sit down. We need to sit
yes,
down like
yes.
real sit down. Maybe I need to come to Jamaica for that as well. But certainly, time is against us, and we got to wrap up. But certainly is an honor. We know we can continue to follow you on social at Clive Hunt Reggae.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So we continue to do that. We'll continue to follow the movement there. And until we speak again, when we can do this a little better, I just want to say thank you. And, it's like I said, it's an honor connecting with you in the first place.
Thanks for having me. And I'm many stories. That's me. Look at me. Many stories.
I like the stories. I think that's what's adding to the fabric of everything. The fact that, I mean, a lot of people, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had that moment where you went into, I mean, this is one of your biggest songs. Putting Up a Resistance with Barry Summers is one of your biggest songs. And you actually produced the song whilst you were on the drug influence. This is
Too
this
short.
is master. Wow.
Wow. But we talk again. I
We
really enjoy
definitely will.
it.
We have to talk again. We
Say hi
definitely.
to all your good listeners for me.
All right, definitely. Keisha is here with me. Keisha's just been there following along, listening and admiring. I see her.
Oh, hi, Keisha.
Keisha's here. Well, so Clive, all the
Yes.
best. And manners
Thank
and
you
decency.
very much. So thanks for having me on your radio.
All right, wonderful.
Okay, respect. Bye.
You're very welcome. Now, Keisha, you see, let me talk about this. This will be the ending because
Okay. Yeah, I
it's,
know.
it's